some ways, that was probably the hardest thing that we're going to do tonight for us. You can tell because of breath support and trying to keep the air going and keep the phrase and the line going, so that what you all hear as an audience is that it's a continuous motion going through the whole melody. So we really enjoyed playing that arrangement of Dandy Boy for you. So I want to take a moment to introduce these three great saxophones playing for you tonight, and also take a moment to tell you a little bit about the saxophone quartet, because most of you who go home tonight and you tell your families, I heard a saxophone concert, and they're going to think that you heard jazz music. And that's not at all what we're about. That's an important element of the music that we study at Shenandoah Conservatory and really everywhere. But most people don't realize that the saxophone was actually invented as a classical instrument back in 1854, depending on who you ask, early 1850s. The saxophone was invented by a man named Adolphe Sax in Belgium, and it was written as an instrument to support French military bands. So jazz didn't really come along until, of course, the 1930s in the U.S. And so most of the time when you hear saxophone, you think Kenny G, right? Or you think Bill Clinton on the tenor saxophone. Or those of you who know good jazz, of course, Phil Woods and so many others. So what we have for you here tonight is a saxophone quartet made up of 4 different instruments. You've seen that already, and it's very similar to what you would hear with the string quartet. The string quartet has a first violin, second violin, a viola, and a cello. And our equivalents are the soprano saxophone that I have, which is the small one, the high one. We have Drake Stoughton here playing alto saxophone. Drake, why don't you play a little bit of your scale so you can hear a little bit lower than what I play. And we have Nick Jackson here playing the tenor saxophone, which is 1/5 lower than what Drake has. You want to play a little bit of your tenor. And John Mills is playing the baritone saxophone, the granddaddy saxophone, and he'll play a little bit for you here. You've heard it all tonight already, but so yes. So all 3 of these guys are or have been my students at Shenandoah in the saxophone studio at Shenandoah. And if I could take a moment, I want to brag on this guy here in particular, brag on all 3 of them. But Drake just graduated in May. He was a presidential scholar at Shenandoah, and he has just been awarded a Fulbright scholarship, as Robert spoke to you at the beginning of the program. And he will be leaving on Thursday to do a 1-year Fulbright assistantship at the Royal Conservatory in The Hague, Netherlands. And Nick Jackson, we're proud of also. Nick is a rising senior, and he's a music education major. Will be student teaching in the spring semester. And John Mills graduated. Actually, he's a Shenandoah alum. Graduated 3 years ago, and is now the director of bands at Falls Church City Public Schools, at a middle school in Falls Church City. And I see we've got a couple, Andy Hearing is here. Andy is a master's student at Shenandoah, working on his, he was a member of the saxophone studio and is now working on his master's in performing arts leadership. And Raleigh, if I can brag on you a second, Raleigh from Kenai, Alaska is one of our entering freshmen. And he's here because he checks into his dorm, I guess, Tuesday morning. So Raleigh's our newest member. So we'd like to thank Reston Community Association and Robert and the city of Reston for having us here. This is our 3rd year doing these. We hope you all love them as much as we do. Coming out to play for you, or coming in to play for you, I guess, in our from where we are in Winchester. But just a quick moment also to invite you all, come out to Shenandoah Conservatory. We have a slogan, and it goes like, we say, reverse your cultural commute. Come out to Winchester. We have got so many great concerts. Every day of the week, we've got 2 or 3 great concerts going on. We just finished our summer musicals in Winchester, and just all kinds of great activities. And we'd like to invite all of you to come out and see us. And come in October when it's apple season, and pick some apples and enjoy the beauty of the Shenandoah Valley. It's only an hour and 5 minutes from here. I just drove it, so not too far. But we have one more final piece to play for you tonight. This next one is also one of our favorites. If any of you were at a concert 2 weeks ago when I played with piano, we had a melody at the end of the program, a melody of folk songs. That's what this is. This is a completely different medley. But of course, we all know what a medley is. It's taking excerpts of different songs and putting them together into what we hope is a version that you all will enjoy. And there's usually music that has a common theme. This next one is This next one is a medley of 7 different folk songs. So if someone said to you, "What is a folk song?" what would you say? Most people think it's a song that's handed down through the generations, which of course it is. But a folk song is actually a song that we don't know who wrote. It's the definition of a folk song. So yes, they are handed down through the generations. But a folk song is something that we have no idea who wrote it. And that's the case with this medley that we'd like to close our performance for you tonight. And this is called Americana Suite. And we'd like to play a little game while we're playing this. And when we're done at the end, we usually give a prize. I'm not sure what we'd give you tonight because we didn't bring anything, but we usually give a prize to anyone that can identify all seven of the tunes in this medley. Some of them are kind of tough. You may not recognize them. One of them we especially love. I think you'll recognize the melodies in each of them, but you may not be able to know the names of them because they're folk songs. So when we're done with this, we'll see if anybody, just to save time, if anybody thinks they can guess all 7 of the songs in Americana Suite. So thank you very much for having us tonight. We hope to be back next summer. You have a beautiful setting here, and it's a privilege for us to play for you. The Shenandoah Conservatory Saxophone Quartet.